General Quarters.
General Quarters? Why not General Halves? Or General Holes, or General Twos, or General Fours? Huh? How about the General Force? Anyway, hello and welcome. Today we are in the best Tier 10 American battleship, the Libertad. American doesn't only mean North American. It is the best secondary battleship in the game, well, at least at Tier 10, and I would say the best Tier 10 battleship, at least for random battles, because the ship itself is pretty good, it's fairly maneuverable, the guns are pretty alright, but the most important thing is that she has a lot of secondary power. Like, her secondaries have a lot of range, and she has a funny button that increases that range to 15 kilometers. And these secondaries actually hurt. Anyway, we're still dealing with a battleship though, therefore we do have to be a little bit careful at the start of the game, because torpedoes exist. And there is an enemy submarine on this flank, and I knew there was a submarine because we had a submarine. See, submarines ruin everything. Anyway, I'm being a little bit careful, going around. I went a little bit closer, fell back, I'm gonna go closer again, and we'll see how the match goes, whether to go closer again or to fall back. Right now I'm gonna continue pushing, because looking, a brief glance at the minimap tells us that we should hold a numbers advantage here. They have a submarine, a Trump, Colombo, and maybe a Grosse Koffest. But we also have a submarine, we have a Salem, we have a whatever the hell a Barbiano is. We have a Rhode Island, but we also have a Musashi coming in, which means we should hold an advantage on this flank. And we should try to take advantage of this, wow, 15k damage. That's a lot more than I expected. I just wanted to sail close enough for the secondaries to activate. But damn, that was a nice hit. Of course, the destroyer takes priority over the battleship, particularly when the DD is closer. I don't know what this Trump is doing. I mean, look at the minimap. That Trump's pretty screwed, right? Like, she runs forward to not get spotted by the submarine and whatnot, and she's gonna get sandwiched by a Shimakaze. It's a pretty risky position. Of course, she probably doesn't know where the Shimakaze is, and is gonna find out about now. Although, maybe somebody should actually help our Shima. I guess Musashi might be able to. Regardless, that's somebody else's concern. Our concern here is the U-4501. That guy, right there. Because he is going to be a pain in the ass. Well, only if I start sailing away. If I keep going nose in, then it's obviously gonna be a pain in the nose. I guess the gun should focus on this Colombo, and once the Colombo's gone, the GK. But the real danger for me is going to be the submarine right in front. Oh, we got actually an oil slick. That's nice. Maybe we can hit her again to make sure that the oil slick stays. Maybe? Nope, nothing. That's disappointing. Regardless, I lock my guns with Shift X in the position I want them to keep pointed at. This means that even if I turn my ship, the guns will try keeping in the same position I aimed at. This will allow me to shoot, because I do want to look around to find the submarine. And I don't want my guns going wildly all over the place. Okay, Colombo's gone, so now we push into the GK. The worry still is the submarine, but at this point I can't find her. All I can do is try to sail away from her, because I think that's going to be the safest option, because again, the only counter against the submarine is run away. And I mean, I kind of want to go into the secondary range of the GK anyway. The other thing is that one of the things that makes me do rather well in a lot of matches is the fact that I think a little bit ahead. I don't think about just the submarine, I don't think about this GK, I also think about, okay, what happens if we deal with this Grosse Koffest, right? I'll need something else to shoot at, and if you look at the minimap right now, there's nothing in range. So I want to be roughly where the GK is, so that if she dies, I can actually start shooting at the Varese. Or Varese, I'm not sure. One of them. Pick whichever one you like most.
Problem solved, sir.
Although, we don't actually know that that cruiser is even there anymore either, but regardless, we want to be in that direction rather than where we were before. Now, my friendly destroyer is actually dealing with the submarine, which is... it's something that you really shouldn't expect. Because while a destroyer, you know, might run over a submarine at close range, they can't really find her either. And the biggest problem is that the submarine can just... many of them can just run away indefinitely from the DD, because they're just as fast as the DD. And so, you know, or even if they're not quite as fast, like if a submarine is going like, I don't know, 32 knots and your destroyer is going like 36 knots, that's only a 4-knot difference. So if you're both heading in the same direction, you're gonna make up 4 knots of difference in speed. It will take you forever to catch up in practical terms at least. So it's really annoying to deal with even as a destroyer. But luckily this guy decided to honestly take one for the team, because whether he deals with the submarine or not, he isn't contributing to the rest of the game, because he's stuck so far from literally everything else. But somebody kinda has to deal with the submarine. Oh, and there it is. And the only way we would have known this is because the DD stayed there. If the DD hadn't, the submarine could have gone and sunk the Musashi and then taken the B-cap. Also, I am mightily impressed by that Trump right now. That guy is still alive. That is incredibly impressive.
Enemy submarine sunk.
Like, really, really impressive. So, this guy, also, the DD definitely deserves a compliment. Like, he dealt with the submarine. Also, ignore me in chat, that's just me being frustrated. So now, even though I actually took the action to start sailing closer quite a while ago, we're still out of range of basically everything, well, except this guy. But I think this guy won't be around for long, because she is a cruiser, and I imagine she has cruiser-ish armor. Despite the fact that it seems like she has a bajillion HP and secondaries. Nevertheless, cruiser's still a cruiser, I really, really, really hope right now. Anyway, she's actually in secondary range if we had the F button up, but we don't, so we gotta get a little bit closer. She's probably gonna survive for quite a while here. But we do have other targets in range at this point, so it's not as bad anymore. And I mean, we have plenty of allies here too. We have a Rhode Island, a Salem, a submarine of our own, and we are capping the central base, which the enemy does need to defend if they wish to have a chance at winning the game. Izumo's coming around the island. She is showing broadside, but it is an Izumo, and that means AP shells on the side are not going to be massively effective, at least not at this kind of range, I think. Yeah, 4,000 damage. But she is taking a lot of damage from other ships, so it's gonna go down pretty rapidly. The Varese is coming around the island, and our secondaries will absolutely devastate her. It's just gonna happen. I think it's a really foolish decision by the cruiser. She does have torpedoes, but I guess I shouldn't really worry about it because we have a whole bunch of ships between me and her. Anyway, Izumo I think is actually kind of the bigger threat to some of my allies here. Close quarters expert, nice. Close quarters double strike. Secondaries of this ship are pretty damn good, but I might be making a bit of a mistake. Actually, the mistake was made a little while ago. See, I am engaging 2 secondary battleships at once. And while the Los Andes is not as strong as the Libertad, She has 50k HP, I have 44k. Actually, she had like 56k, so even worse. And she has a Schlieffen with her, so this is a fight I'm going to lose. There is absolutely no chance I will win. The only question is, what kind of damage can I do before I lose this? And unfortunately, the mistake was made basically even before the engagement started. I shouldn't have gotten myself into this. I should have waited a little bit behind an island and, you know, get my road island into the fight, etc. Because right now, yeah, it is a complete 1 versus 2. Oh, and the enemy Gdansk also showed up. I think my secondaries are gonna deal with the Los Andes. She's turning in, which means that my secondaries are gonna start hitting the bow. And they should start dealing even more and more damage. So that broadsiding Schlieffen felt like a better target for a moment. Might have been a mistake, but it's whatever. We're gonna take the Los Andes with us, but the Schlieffen will sink us, because the same thing that we did to the Los Andes, where we hit her bow and dealt a lot of damage, Schlieffen did to us. But after a while of messing about, the enemy team is going to lose. We had just that many more ships left. Yep, there it is. And no, the U-4501 did not sink her, it was the Musashi. 3 close quarters experts, a double strike, a Kraken unleashed. We kept the base. It was all possible because of our Barbiano, but still. I think we had a pretty good game ourselves. The Libertad is truly something. Our main guns actually performed pretty well. More damage than the secondaries, even combined with the fires. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.